Hello, Atom here. Welcome back to small Higurashi When They Cry. Hopefully the festival isn't too loud on the background and you won't be disturbed. Let's continue to Satoko bawling her eyes out. She screamed out as if Mion's word had caused her physical pain. No one spoke a word to her. All the students were withdrawing behind us, leaving Satoko alone in the corner of the classroom. Around her, there were desks and chairs all over the floor. Bento lay scattered. It was terrible. All I could hear was Satoko's ragged breaths and the voices of the cicadas. The Higurashi? The strings of tension loosened around Satoko. Maybe she suddenly grew scared of her own actions, because she started trembling and gave a word of apology. But nobody knew just who that apology was directed towards. So for now, I decided to answer as everyone's representative.
いや、そっちこそ大丈夫か?
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Ow, my ears. Our words didn't match each other at all. Satoko hugged her shoulders, and back she went. But she ran into the locker with the cleaning supplies in it. Even that made her give a little yelp. The impact caused the bucket atop the locker to fall, making a loud sound. That scared Satoko most of all. She almost jumped out of her skin, grabbing a bunch of the curtain in her hands. Nobody spoke to her. They could only look, not even remembering to blink.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。私じゃないです。私じゃないです。
Satoko, what? What on earth? I stood up, took a step away from everyone, and approached Satoko.
何があったんだ?
だから私知らないです。私知らないです。違うからもう嫌です。やめてください。許して許して。
Is she talking about the park when the railing fell, maybe? To Oishi? Like in her mind at least? Is that what's going on?
落ち着けよ.
Or maybe even not to Oishi, but just to the memory of them?
サトコ、俺がわかるか?
もうやだ。嫌です。
Every time I took a step forward, she grasped the curtains more tightly and cried out.
サトコ、俺だよ。ケイチだ。わかんないのか? お前に危害なんか加えない。
Is the teacher going to come?
だから落ち着けって。大丈夫だ。俺はお前の味方だって。
助けて。怖いのやだ。痛いのやだ。
Should someone get the teacher, maybe? Suddenly my shoulders were grabbed and I was dragged backwards. It was Rena.
ごめん、ケイチ君。ケイチ君はちょっと後ろに行ってて。
After pulling me back, she ran towards Satoko in my place.
大丈夫だよ、さとこちゃん。もう怖いことなんかないよ。ほら、安心して。やだ。もうやだ。やだ。にーにー助けて。
As she gripped the curtains and kept calling for Nini, she continued to wail about being forgiven or something, and to be saved from something. What is this? Did perhaps her brother blame her at some point for the parents' death? Maybe? Might make sense. Mion gnashed her teeth and groaned. There were tears falling from her firmly closed eyes.
どうなってんだよこれ。昨日で全部終わったんじゃないのか。今日からまた元の生活に戻っていくんじゃないのか。ミオミオ。
Crash. There was a crazy sound. Rena had taken the cleaning supply locker and kicked it down to the ground? Everyone stood surprised at Rena's unexpected act of brutality. After that, Rena embraced the bawling Sadako from behind and started crying with her, stifled.
レナ、どうした。
ごめん。ケイチ君、ちょっと黙ってて。
今のはなんだよ。どうしたんだよ。
She just told you to be quiet.
サトコから何か聞いたのか。何を聞いたんだよ。
サイナー、黙ってろって言ってんでしょ。
Rena's raw, hostile emotion hit me like a brick. It was no more than a momentary howl of emotion for Rena, but it was more than that for me. She had shown me what was behind all that emotion, what was in her heart.
サトコちゃん。やだやだやだやだ。もうやだやだやだ。許して。何もできなかった私たちを許して。ごめんね。ごめんね。
Forgive us for being unable to do anything. Rena's words made me feel as though the blood vessels on the back of my head were suddenly all turning to ash. My vision grew distant, blurred with grey, and the world lost its colour. I thought we could save Sadako, but though I knew it would be the sooner the better, I thought there was no time limit for doing that. I never even dreamed that we could be too late. I'd been making a huge mistake. I thought Sadako could be hurt, but never that she'd break. It was such a huge mistake. People, they break. Thinking that they don't is absolutely absurd. We needed to save Sadako. We needed to save her before she broke. That fatal lapse in awareness had brought this on. Whose fault was it? That went without saying. Mine. No. Ours. We all took on the duty of saving Sadako, but we were negligent to the point of laziness. In that sense, this was the inevitable result. Even if this didn't happen today, and it happened tomorrow, or the day after, or the next week, we would have just sat around doing nothing until that day. So this was the obvious result. I slumped down to my knees, just as Mion and Rika-chan had done. And I too closed my eyes tight and couldn't stop myself from sobbing.
何の騒ぎですか？ちょっと何があったんです？
The teacher came, and her face screwed up of a terrible spectacle before her. The instant she realized the teacher was here, Sadako went through another complete change. She wiped her face with the curtains, and, like nothing happened, smiled.
北条さん、これは一体何事ですか？ちょっとレナさんと喧嘩になってしまっただけですのよ。お弁当をめぐってちょっぴり大暴れなんですの。ね。
Rena didn't nod in reply, but then, since Sadako wished it, she nodded without strength. The rest of the class couldn't keep up with her extreme changes. We all just stared in a daze.
ちょっと悪ふざけをしただけなんですのよ。皆さん、度肝を抜かれすぎでございますわね。
I think we all know that wasn't the case. Sadako would probably sweep the whole thing under the rug. For what? Her heart is torn to pieces, so what? What else? You wanted your Nini to help, didn't you? But, unfortunately for you, Satoshi doesn't ever intend on coming back. Well, it's a bit hard to have intentions when you're dead. You know. It's never that easy. He won't just conveniently show up and save you. So, you don't have to wait for him anymore. You can cry, beg for help. You can run away. Whoa. Oh. What? I don't know.
私たちが無力だから。
Mion suddenly said. She spoke then, those few words that had tormented me countless times. Those words were a spell, and when I heard them, my whole body suddenly regained its calm. My emotions all slipped away like they'd never been there, like a wave departing. And then, the world's colour flipped inside out. My field of view expanded. My head grew remarkably cold, and I felt like my mind's volume had grown even wider than the classroom we were in. What? Also, music. I feel like this is the new one, and I feel like I didn't use this one, maybe? I don't know. At the time, my soul was doubtlessly no longer in the small, petty vessel of my head, but floating in the air a little bit above it. It was a mysterious feeling of release. I broke free of the cramped confines of my skull and stretched out my roots in all directions, as far as I wanted to. It was a strange feeling, one I'd never felt ever before. An odd sense of exhilaration. My sharpened senses caused me to transcend. He's gone beyond human. He's a superhuman. My mind was sharper than a knife's edge. I immediately decided that spending the time to let myself be crushed with grief would be an absolute waste. I erased all the garbage information from my brain. I expelled the pointless emotions presenting obstacles to action.
ミオ、お前は呪ってろ。自分の無力さをいつまでも。
え？
If I could have taken back what had happened by crying about it, I'd have cried all day. The fact was, this was how things had turned out. I couldn't take back what had happened. The top priority, then, would be to prevent the situation from worsening further and sever the chains of misfortune. Until today, I'd been looking at things so narrow-mindedly I could scarcely believe it. To save Sadako, the only thing to do was to save Sadako. That's the only thing I thought about. I didn't allow myself to realize the most basic, direct, and certain way of removing the source of all Sadako's unhappiness. No, I realized it yesterday. He's planning to kill the uncle now, isn't he? But as for the means, I'd relied on some stupid curse from some dumb deity. I'd never considered carrying out the task myself. I would obliterate Sadako's uncle. There were plenty of ways to do it. This was a task that held infinite methods. Ironically, the method of saving Sadako required mostly money. The method of killing that man pretty much took no money at all. I could kill him with the least amount of investment. The least amount of money suited him. It was only the weight of his life. I kept eliminating needless, worthless information from my head, replenishing it with only the knowledge I'd need to achieve my goal. I used every cell in my brain to think about how I'd kill him. The way I killed him didn't matter. I'd allow any method, from whatever time and whatever country. What? Okay. As long as it ended in a quick and certain death. If I were to have an additional condition, it would be to not get caught. Removing him was an act designed to return to the peaceful times we had with Satoko. If I was arrested in exchange for removal, then we might as well have killed each other. With only him gone, we'd go back to our normal lives. That was my supreme objective. My ultimate goal. Kill him, definitely. Definitely don't leave evidence either. Two alternatives at odds with one another. The condition of not leaving a trace behind to me automatically narrowed the number of murder methods. No witnesses was an absolute must. Fortunately, given the right time in Hinamazawa, there would be nobody around. I mentally reconstructed the land around Sadako's house. The number of pedestrians, different at different times. The movement algorithm of the neighbours. Would I lure him out, or charge at him? What would my weapon be? When and where would I carry this out? Where? It needed to be somewhere I wouldn't leave a trace. When? It needed to be as soon as possible for Sadako's safety, without wasting even a millisecond. Potentially tomorrow, I think tomorrow's the festival, right? This is absurd. Completely absurd. When I thought about it this way, it struck me how easy the act of killing was. If I could leave evidence, if I was just going to kill him, anyone could easily turn into a murderer. But our reason prevented that. It told us doing so would get us arrested for sure. In the end, being arrested by the police was the final thing preventing people from committing homicide. Absurd. If you went all the way out into the middle of the ocean, you wouldn't leave any trace at all. Anyone would drop those they hated into the depths if they knew that. It was all too easy to simply remove him. I could leave class right now, grab a metal baseball bat or something from the schoolyard, go to his house and attack him. It's not too the way to kill someone. Eeh. Estimated time would be 25 minutes. I'm surprised you calculated that. Oh, time to get to the house, probably. If I wanted us to kill each other, it wouldn't even be minutes. I could do it in 1,500 seconds. I knew just how much his continued existence depended on me. He was nothing. I could expel him from this world within just 1,500 seconds after making up my mind. From when I decided to do it, he only had 1,500 seconds. Actually, if I ran at full speed to his house, that number would go down even further. But he was alive. He was still a part of this world at this very moment, having torn Sadako's body and mind to shreds. Why? Because I was letting him live. I was permitting him to live, so he was alive. If I rescinded that permission, he would be evacuating this mortal coil within 1,500 seconds. You think I'd let you live? To breathe even 1,500 more seconds of air? I'm taking that permission back, right here, right now. You'd better thank me for letting you live until today. However, I actually need more than 1,500 seconds. I'm not just going to end you. Getting back our old lives is far more important. It's only you I'll be cutting out from this world. They won't find a culprit. I'll forget that I dirtied my hands on the likes of you as naturally as I brushed my teeth before bed. So to do that, I'll make a special exception for you and give you more than 1,500 seconds. I'll give you special permission to keep on living as you have until I can construct the perfect plan for your murder. Wait, Keiichi. You can't let that time go to waste. Yeah, I know. I'll kill him quickly. I will move him with certainty. I won't misuse any time to think of a plan. Think back. Tomorrow's Wasanagashi, isn't it? Last year on the night of Wasanagashi, her aunt died. Her head was busted open by some deviant, and her brain splattered everywhere. That's it. He's someone who deserves to be given death on the night of Wasanagashi. I mean, it's probably a safer option to go for the disappearance route rather than the death route, because all the deaths are solved every year. And okay, yeah, I suppose the disappearances are to a certain degree as well. Hey, Oyashiro-sama. You call yourself a guardian, but you didn't protect Satoko. Cursing Satoko's family for the damn stuff is your own business, but now you've made Satoko unhappy when she didn't have anything to do with it. I, Keiichi Maibara, hereby denounce you, the guardian deity of Hinmizawa, a failure. We don't need you. Go back to the deepest, darkest part of your shrine this year. Besides, if you had just cursed and killed both your aunt and your uncle last year, none of this would have ever have happened. The curse this year is not on you. I'll be the one deciding. As in, okay, I understand. It won't be the three families controlling the serial deaths behind the scenes. No, not some vague people who I can't tell if they're buffoons or not. This time, I'll be the one to deliver that divine punished judgment. Yeah, words. So don't get in my way. Just watch. Stay quiet and watch. I'll obliterate him. I'll wipe him off the face of the earth. I will stomp out his very existence. Get away, disappear, and die. I'll tear your heart apart just like you did to Satoko. I'll have your blood as payment. Whoa, grrr. Return back to reality.
ケイイチ君、大丈夫？
Yeah, just, I'm alright. Perfectly normal, just planning to murder someone. Rena and Mio and Rika-chan were looking after me. Had I fallen to the floor?
急に倒れたからびっくりしたよ。うなされてなかった？うなってたよ。
うるさい。
What is he now? Possessed?
黄色い声で話しかけるな。
Hmm. You seem somewhat happy about that. I don't know what to make of that. My friends gave a start and backed off.
なんだよ。
Ren and the others. They exchanged glances, unsure of what to say, and stood confused for a few moments.
今の、ケイイチ君の声。
当たり前だろ。
Rena gulped firmly and opened her mouth.
今一瞬、ケイイチ君、すごい目だった。
Were they like this? Future self remembered to put a picture in there.
目？光の角度でそう見えたんだろ。
Actually, I'll make a note of that right now.
バカバカしい。
見間違いじゃないよ。あんな目、初めて見た。
Really? What were these guys talking about? They've all been too scared of me lately.
前原圭一君だよね。
What is Rena saying? Who else do I look like except Keiichi Maibara? The look I gave to her seemed to speak quite eloquently to those irritated thoughts. She understood and quickly apologized.
ごめん。気にしないでね。
Emergency D23, number 44. I guess we'll see them in the tips. June 18th, 1983. Abuse issues regarding Sadako Ojo. Urgent. He proposed that Sadako Ojo must be taken into immediate custody based on the items below. 1. Family situation. Life with adoptive father, who recently returned to Hinamizawa, has already turned disastrous, and she is currently subject to unendurable physical and mental abuse from the father. Wait. If that's okay, if it's saying because it's the adoptive father who recently returned to Hinamizawa, that's currently right now. So why hasn't that happened? 2. Child Consultation Center's response. Child probation officer was dispatched yesterday, on the 17th, from the Prefecture Welfare Office. But because of the 77 case, changed to continued coaching and cautionary action. So who was this that's proposing? If it's Is this for school, perhaps? Unfortunately, the consultation office head does not properly understand the situation. 3. Status of concerned child. Child already appears to be suffering from an outbreak of something close to neurosis or manic depression. If their unstable prepubescent mind is negatively stimulated by stress, it will put the development of a healthy body and mind at risk. This cannot be allowed to continue from a humane standpoint. 4. Allegations made to the family court. We propose, based on the above items, that Sadako Ojo should be immediately taken into protective custody. She should be secured temporarily under emergency allegations to the family court under Article 28. We request emergency coordination between all related agencies. Fukujisho D23, number 44. Blank, 1977. I can read. I can do numbers. Child name, Sadako Ojo, blank years old. Residence, blank Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. 1. Consultation circumstances. Telephone SOS from child of child abuse. 2. Abuse situation. Child claims she is being physically abused by her adoptive father. Wait. Back before the previous one. What did it say? But it's the uncle. So is it not? No, because they mentioned the 77 case. Okay. 3. Family structure. Circle marks abusers. The adoptive father is the abuser, real mother, older brother, child in question. Note: adoptive father and real mother entered family registry in year 1999. The child is the daughter of the mother's previous husband. 4. Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the child's telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked of her situation. On that day, the child welfare officer on duty visited the child's house and conducted an interview. The adoptive father sincerely listened to instruction and agreed to take child-raising workshops in the city from now on. As part of suggested coaching, the center will continue to observe the situation. 5. Other notes. As a result of numerous counselling sessions at the city's education consultation office regarding the child, we learned that there was a high possibility that the cause of a child's excessive distrust towards their adoptive father was a result of lack of communication. The abuse she claimed hadn't actually taken place. She had made a false report to distance herself from her adoptive father. Below is a note written in pencil by the person on duty at the time. The problem appeared to be more with the daughter. Chief Investigator F of the city's education consultation office said that most of her stories of abuse were likely fabrications. Chief Investigator F? They decided to shift the focus of their coaching to the child. Be cautious not to take everything the child says as truth. And on that note, I'll leave it here for today. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, see ya.